The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
We've been discussing how kids are having sex at a younger age with psychotherapist Dr. Mike Dow. A lot of parents have trouble talking about sex with their kids. Joining us now via Skype is Rachel, a mom of a preteen daughter with a question. Rachel, good to have you on.
Hi, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
So what is your question involving your preteen and the sex talk?
So I think in general, I would love to know just the best way to approach talking to your kids about sex, because I am the mom of two young girls. My oldest one is 11, and I've always been prepared to have open conversations and open dialogue. I just wasn't prepared for it this young, so it feels a little bit daunting, and I'd love some pointers on how to have those conversations to make sure your children know that you are a safe space to begin the dialogue.
I think the first piece of advice I have for parents and for this mom is take away this idea that it's a talk. It should be talks. So you can have these age-appropriate talks, at 5, 6, 7, it's talking about, the baby in mommy's belly. At 8, 9, 10, yes, 10 years old, 11 years old, you can say the word penis. It's no longer a pee-pee. And we can actually talk about it in an adult way. And the more you do that, and the more you are not afraid, the more you are actually non-verbally communicating to your kids, this is actually okay to talk about. It's okay to talk to me about your feelings. And the more we sort of say, oh my God, I wasn't ready for this talk, your child is gonna say, oh wow, that really freaked mom or dad out. I don't wanna talk to them about it because they're not comfortable. And just know there's never really a right or wrong answer. And a lot of times, kids are very smart. So it's more about the listening, and open questions. What are your friends talking about? Why are you asking me this? Did you read something? Was it something you saw on TV? And I think that takes a lot of pressure off.
I think that's a great tip that, Rachel, you sort of have to be aware and prepared that moment's gonna hit where something comes out of your daughter's mouth and you're gonna go, what? And take that opportunity, I guess, to start the conversation and go as deeply as you're comfortable in that moment.
Yeah, it's really opening the door. It's like, oh, thank goodness they brought it up because now you don't have to, right? So that's sort of nice.
And Rachel, I believe you're already, your daughter's already quite aware of quite a lot, right? Isn't that one of the surprises?
It's surprising because what happened is we've always had open dialogue and she knows she can come to me with anything. But what prompted this whole conversation, as we've had the baby conversation, she has a little sister, so she knows the general logistics, but she went to a sleepover and with two little girls and their parents had bought a book about sex. And she read it from cover to cover and then came home and basically educated me. I wasn't aware that they were already learning those things. And so it kind of put me in a situation where I had to backpedal a little bit, take a step backwards, and then teach her my way, because I'm we don't use the slang words, we use all the proper anatomy. I feel like we do all that right. I just wasn't prepared for it to happen so young. And I think my biggest fear as being the mother of two little girls is I want them to feel comfortable coming to me. I don't want them to feel shame about sex or their bodies, but I also want them to take it very, very seriously and know that you can't take it back. So I struggle between those two worlds of educating them, but also making sure they understand the gravity of those decisions around sex.
You bring up a great point, which is how do you find that sweet spot between, okay, I want to be a safe space, but I also want them to understand that there's a lot riding on this decision. And I think a little bit of self-disclosure goes a long way. And you can say something like, I waited until I was in my 20s and I felt like that was a good time. Or you can say the opposite if that wasn't true for you. I actually lost my virginity when I was 18 and I actually regretted it and I just felt so nervous and then I felt so bad afterwards. And you can ask them, what do you think? When do you want your first time to be? What would you want to be true for you?
And if you want Dr. Dow to come to your house, his phone number is, you actually just made that all seem very accessible, quite frankly, a little too easy. But Rachel, hopefully that helps answer some of your questions. And
It does.
Best of luck to you.
Good luck, Mom.
Dr. Dow, much appreciated, sir.
Thank you.